making picks. So IDP Guys is your #1 source for non-standard fantasy football, and they are our sponsor for the Bucks vs. Raiders NFL tournament on Statement Games. Play the contest and visit idpguys.org and step up your fantasy game. So let's talk a little bit about this coming game, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams are coming off of big upset wins. The Raiders 2 weeks ago with Kansas City, and then they went into their bye. And the Bucs last week stomping on Aaron Rodgers and keeping him to 16 total completed passes for like 160 yards. That's just not Aaron Rodgers' game. So Tampa Bay, their defense is looking solid. And Brady, I mean, Brady has always had his down games, but when he is on, look at him just go right through the Green Bay Packers. And then on the flip side, you've got the Raiders who, everyone coming into this year said Kansas City, known Super Bowl possibly repeat champs. And look at the Raiders coming in, stomping on them in a foot race to the end, and able to, keep up with that explosive offense. They were able to stop that Kansas City offense a few times and get them off the field. So it's looking like the Bucs versus the Raiders is going to be an explosive affair where this Bucs defense, I think, is going to play a part, but I think the Raiders are going to be able to get over the hump, and it'll be a close game in my opinion, but it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I kind of I agree with a lot of those kind of points. Before I guess we get into my take here, let's just do kind of like a little house cleaning, first. So obviously you can play this game at StatementGames.com. There's also apps that complement the StatementGames.com website, and just so that you kind of know about playing in the IDP Guys tournament, which is the Bucs and the Raiders game here. You can play as many contests as you possibly can enter into. What we actually do is, of all the people who win a contest for this specific game, keep in mind you're playing in leagues of 12 people, so you're one of 12 people, and all of the contest winners will be entered into a drawing, and you will be selecting a name out of a hat of all the contest winners, and the person you actually draw out of the hat, in addition to any coins that you actually can win on Statement Games, coins that can actually be exchanged for a cash gift card here, in conjunction between the partnership between Statement Games and the IDP Guys, the person that we draw out of the hat here is going to win an NFL jersey of their choice. It doesn't have to be a Raiders jersey or a Buccaneers jersey. It's, pick a jersey of any active player within the NFL, and that jersey is yours. Now, usually we do this for Sunday night, football, and at the beginning of the week, the Bucs Raiders games was the Sunday night football game for week number 7. Given COVID and different players testing positive for COVID, it looks like that game has been moved from the Sunday night game to I think it's a 4 o'clock or a 4:25 game on Sunday. By the time this show kind of airs, and as we get closer to Sunday, it could move again, and where it moves from Sunday to Monday. So just keep an eye out for the on the schedule. But regardless of when that game is actually played, that's the tournament that you actually want to play in. So like I said here, usually we run the promos with the IDP Guys here for Sunday Night Football. It just looks like for this week, and let's hope for this week only, that it looks like it's not really the Sunday night game. So that's what I wanted to just add about that. But other than that here, I'm lockstep kind of with you on a lot of the points that you actually made. A lot of points. I actually got some points from the Tampa Bay defense last week, picking off Rodgers, or pick 6 for Rodgers. Looks like the Raiders can score some points. They went into Kansas City. They put up points. They had the bye week. They're well rested. Being that Gruden once coached kind of Tampa Bay, that he wants to put up a pretty good performance against his old organization. So yeah, I like offense and I like points in this game, and that's going to be kind of my theme heading into, I don't know, what do you want to call this, the quasi Sunday night football game,
Right. Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, for the Buccaneers Raiders game here. My theme is going to be points.
Yeah, no. So let's get in here and look at what we've already placed. So we got Mike Evans first off at number 1, the lowest. We have him under 66.5 yards receiving. This was something, first off, if you look at the injury report, Mike Evans is on it. He was limited in practice and with, I think it was an ankle problem. And he only had 1 catch in the last game for 10 yards. So it looks like he's got a problem. And while I think he will still play, I don't think he's going to be the normal Mike Evans, and I think he's going to be under 66.5 yards receiving. But this also brought up an interesting topic that Marc wanted to talk about of when you pick props with a specific player, they have to play for you to get credit. Marc, do you want to go into that a little more?
Yeah, so it's just the way that the system is set up and designed right now, and this is where we can actually improve on as a company through the relationship with Sports Radar. But as of right now, it's almost the onus is on the player to, and when I say player, I mean the end user who is playing this game, to basically pick player props here of players who are going to be playing in this game. So if Mike Evans plays and our hunch is that, hey, you know what, he's not 100%, we could be getting a pretty significant break by taking the under 66.5 yards, kind of like the receiver. However, if he doesn't play, the system is going to mark both Mike Evans statements incorrect. That's just the way that the system is set up right now. So we are gambling like a little bit, and the gamble is that of course, we don't believe that he is 100%. We do believe that he is going to play. Of course, we reserve the right to change our opinions up until about like 5 minutes before game time. So if the injury or an updated injury report comes out tomorrow or on Saturday, and it's determined that Mike Evans isn't playing here, of course, you and I will jump into the system and modify or change that pick. But as of right now, we're taking a flyer on Mike Evans under the yards receiving total, but we have that pretty low within our pick'em selections, and where we just have it listed as our number 1 pick, which would only give us 1 point if that pick became correct anyway.
Yeah, we're only wagering 1 point on that, so I feel pretty okay with it. Kind of either way, taking that gamble. At our 2 points wager, Darren Waller under 5.5 receptions. I went with this one for the fact that Waller doesn't he gets a lot of solid receptions where he goes for good yards after, and he gets those yards, those big yards, but he really doesn't get a lot of receptions in a game. They have so many weapons. Hunter Renfrow is kind of evolving and coming up. Josh Jacobs, they got a great run game, and Jacobs also catches passes out of the backfield. So Waller, while he gets really good receptions where he's able to run down the field, he doesn't get a lot of them. So I think at 5.5, that's on the high side for him. So I like the under. I think he's still going to be part of the game. I think he's a good tight end, but I think that he's not utilized as much as this represents. And then at the 3 spot, this was one that you had suggested, Marc. Nelson Aguilar and Hunter Renfrow over 7.5 receptions. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I just think that the Raiders are going to be able to move the ball. Obviously, those 2 wide receivers are intricate parts of the Raiders offense. It's not like I'm asking for a lot here. It is kind of combined. So between Aguilar and Renfrow, we're just looking for them to literally, not one person, but both of them combined,
Right.
get 8 total receptions here. So I don't think we're asking for a lot in this situation here. You could be looking at a scenario and where it's very realistic that Oakland could be behind by a score or 8 points late in the game here, which actually means that they need to throw the ball here. So I think it's a smart pick, and that's why
absolutely.
we took it. Now that I actually think about it, maybe we should put a little bit higher, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, and then the fourth one here we've got is Tom Brady under 285.5 yards passing. We both kind of thought about this, and that's a lot of yards for Tom Brady. While this is going to be a high-scoring game, both teams have solid run games. The last game the Bucs played with Green Bay, Brady didn't have even 200 yards, and they had 100 yards on the ground, and they were successful at winning. So I think that Brady is going to be relying on that. Brady does well when he relies on that run game, and I think that because of how high this number is, I'm easily taking the under.
I think we both agree kind of on that one.
Yeah. So with that, Mark, what's your first pick?
All right, first pick here. I'm going to go in the opposite direction of last week here. I do think points will be plentiful in this game. Gruden's had basically 2 weeks to prepare. Playing at home, I think the Raiders are a little underrated here from an offensive perspective. And I'm just going to go ahead and take something that's simple and just basically lock in the total points over 53.5. All right, so I'm also going to take a shot, just see if I can get some revenge from the debacle of the kicker picks from last week. So this is a pick that's more out of spite more than anything else here. So although I like points here, I do think we're going to get some production out of the kicker prediction. So I'm going to take Ryan Scopey over 1.5 field goals.
All right.
And then I'm also kind of expecting. I'm expecting a lot of passes to be thrown by Carr and the Raiders here, but I just got a funny feeling that Josh Jacobs breaks one. So it's not like I'm asking him to rush for 115 yards or break kind of 100 yards here. So I think the over 75 rushing yards is a realistic play, and I'm going to be taking a flyer on Josh Jacobs over 75.5 rushing yards.
All righty. So I'm going on the same theme, and I like Derek Carr to have over 1.5 touchdown passes in a high-scoring game. That's not a lot to ask for, and he's put up multiples in the past. Where do you want it to slot in there?
I think we can leave it right there.
All righty. So with that, I'm also going to go on the flip side, and we're talking tight ends again. Gronkowski only needs
tight ends, yeah.
only needs 4 receptions to make this over possible. You like it there at 6, or you want me to shove it down at 5?
You can leave it at 6.
All right. And finally, I'm part of the IDP guys. I have to have a defensive pick here. So I like the Bucs defense to have over 2.5 sacks. They have a great line. Shaq Barrett there. There's definitely a solid chance of this happening. So I'm going with Tampa Bay Bucs defense over 2.5 sacks. Lock that in at 5. Lock this game in.